How's it going, everyone? Tonight I'm back to talk about Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale. It's a 2010 Finnish action horror comedy film, and that's a tremendously accurate title for it to have because this is one of the most unique and just flat out fun international films I've seen in a while, Christmas horror themed or otherwise. It is also probably the most fun I've had on my little Christmas movie marathon this year so far. To the point where honestly, I really think this is one of those movies that you're best to just discover for yourself with a blank slate, going in completely cold. For those of you out there who are adventurous enough to go into a movie cold, I'll just say as a brief overview of how I feel about this movie that if you're the kind of person who enjoys well crafted, well made, very original, engrossing, involving horror films that are also simultaneously like the most deadpan parodies you've ever seen, this is the movie for you. Honestly, I don't even like it's almost a little bit of a small miracle in its own way that they managed to kind of like play it both ways at the same time. Like, for no second in this film do you ever catch anyone winking at the camera or mugging it up. There's no big, broad, vulgar comic cues to let you know when something's a joke, but it just has this cumulative effect that makes you realize that the whole thing, as involving as it is, and as much as you have some compelling character relationships, and you get to witness one boy's very triumphant journey towards finding more courage and personal integrity and personal worth, you're also seeing a lot of really sly, sharp, satirical jabs at the whole commercial side of Christmas being put into play, and you don't even realize it until you get to the concluding chapters of the film. For only being about 80 minutes, probably less than that when you shave off the credits, this movie manages to cover a lot of ground without ever feeling overstuffed. The film is scripted and edited in such a way that you have plenty of small moments that allow you to gain a deeper understanding and appreciation of the characters and their relationships. And you get small moments that allow you to care about them, but without the pace ever faltering. The pace is so well sustained, I think, because all the scenes involving the central horror aspect of the film are shown in such a way that you get just enough new information to be kept in suspense. Therefore, when we cut to the smaller character moments in the film, you've been given just enough curiosity and suspense to carry you through the quiet moments. Furthermore, because those smaller moments have a lot of interest and poignancy that makes you care about the characters more, it ends up actually adding to the suspense instead of taking away from it. It also helps that the plot elements have been arranged so that the characters live in a small village that is a short distance away from the more major things that are transpiring. The suspense of the unknown is always looming over everything because it is quite literally looming over everything. And at this point, maybe I'll give a few basic plot elements because I have been, up until now, I'd say pretty vague. There's an international research team on an archaeological dig that is drilling on top of a mountain in the Finnish region of Lapland. And I apologize to any Finnish viewers out there if I'm butchering any of this. And the operation ends up attracting the attention of nearby local villagers because they believe it is having a negative effect on their livelihood, which, by the way, is reindeer hunting. Seriously, these folks hunt reindeer, they eat reindeer, they make and eat reindeer jerky, for that matter. If I may be so cute as to say so, that really is just an appetizer in terms of the ways that this movie takes a bite out of Christmas. Just wait till you get to the climax. The interesting thing is that they don't draw attention to it in any of the usual ways that North American films do. It's a detail that is deliberate and obviously satirical on some level, but it's just played in a very simple way, as if this is just their livelihood and they don't view it ironically. In fact, in terms of its cinematography and its acting, this is a very naturalistic feeling movie. And I've noticed that about quite a few European films. They tend to favor natural lighting and more natural, understated acting. And here, that approach works very well because it lets the parodic elements of the script just kind of speak for themselves without rubbing it right in your face. Plus, when you've got natural snowy vistas and huge majestic mountains that are this stunning, you don't really have to do a heck of a lot to it to make it an effective environment and setting for a horror film, or any film for that matter. I also think that there's probably something to be said about using natural lighting in your films because for being a 12, 13, no, sorry, almost 14-year-old film, this feels like it could have been released today. I mean, it's also clear that it's a movie that had some budgetary constraints, but it's nothing that feels out of line with anything that's being released today. In fact, in some cases, this looks and sounds better and accomplishes more in terms of the kinds of things that it's going for its budget range than the majority of North American Hollywood films. And I think I'm just going to leave you with a little bit more of a plot point just to bait you a little bit more if you're still unconvinced. But that will be about as specific as I'm going to get because I think that this movie is one of those hidden gems that deserves to be savored with a completely blank frame of mind. Around the same time that a local boy is just being told that the real Santa was a monster who tortured bad children rather than one who bought the good ones presents, the drilling team for the archaeological dig has just finished unearthing something that I will leave for you to discover. From there, it develops into one of the most bold and original, but again, simultaneously earnest spins and subversions on Santa and his elves that I have ever seen. Along the way, it manages to pack about 2 or 3 movies worth of popcorn fun into one movie that only probably runs about 75 minutes. I mean, it's really remarkable. That's all I have to say. This movie is absolutely awesome. It's original, it's visionary, it's entertaining as all get out, and it's been my favorite viewing experience this holiday season thus far. It's available to watch free on Tubi right now, so give it a look. It is definitely worth your time. I mean, I wanted to watch it over from the beginning as soon as it was done, and you know what? Come to think of it, I think that's what I'm going to go do right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I really hope you guys take the time to check this one out, and I'll be back with more Christmas horror content really soon. Take care.